I mentioned this last week after the Eagles beat the Kansas City Chiefs, that they look inevitable. That's what happens when you are the defending Super Bowl champs and you come out of the box and you get the Dallas Cowboys in your house hitting you with all sorts of Dak to CeeDee Lamb attempts and hitting you in the mouth, and you come out with that win, hold on for dear life, and then you go to Kansas City and you beat the Chiefs again and you take advantage of their mistakes, like Mahomes not connecting with Kelsey on the goal line, ball pops in the air, and you darn near return it for a pick six, but you score a touchdown eventually anyway, and you take advantage of these opportunities, and the tush-push play is the personification of inevitable. We're coming for you. You can't stop it. You can't even hope to contain it, to use the Dan Patrick phrase. And then comes what we saw against the Los Angeles Rams. We've been hyping this thing up all off season long, all non-playing season, as we say it on NFL Network, long. That, the bottom line is, when it comes down to it, last year in the playoffs, which team gave the Eagles the biggest run for their money? Chris, you want to answer that question?
The Rams.
Okay. And whose house is it normally?
Rams house.
Thank you, sir. And in the first half of yesterday's game in Philadelphia, it sure looked like the Rams' house.
Oh,
just 33 total yards for the Philadelphia Eagles. The Rams were all over the Philadelphia Eagles. The fans were all over the Philadelphia Eagles. Lots of boo birds. Lots of boo birds going down. It was the first game with fewer than 60 total yards in the first half in the Jalen Hurts era. And the Eagles had a touchdown and 37 total yards in their first drive of the game. And the Rams were doing everything. They were beating them up in every phase of the game. Special teams as well. -4 total yards, no first downs, no points for the Eagles in the first half after their touchdown drive on the first time with the football. And then the second half began. And Jalen Hurts, I guess, was reminded there's a passing game as well. I guess Nick Sirianni and the rest of the offensive coaching staff was reminded that's 11 out there. That's, what's his name again? Oh, A.J. Brown.
That guy. Yeah.
Maybe we should target him before the fourth quarter.
Yeah.
When we're at home. Maybe we should start throwing to him. We also have, what's his name? A Heisman Trophy winner we drafted in the first round, Devontae Smith. Let's get him 8 catches for a touchdown after just 7 catches for 69 yards in the first 2 weeks. Let's get A.J. Brown 6 catches for 109 yards and a touchdown after just 6 receptions and 35 yards through the first 2 weeks. Didn't have his first catch of the game till the third quarter. Ah, yes, then it all opens up a little bit. A little bit. And then let's have the defense hold the Los Angeles Rams to 0 points in the final 29 minutes of the game. Let's have that one happen. Let's start throwing it around. Let's, by the way, try Saquon Barkley in the first half. If you told the Rams coming into this game that they would hold Saquon Barkley to just 46 yards on 18 carries, they'd have signed for it. They'd have signed for the halftime score. They would have signed for everything that I was talking about in that first half. But the Eagles come up with a win that makes them feel inevitable, especially because after the Rams lost the lead, had Matthew Stafford march down the field for an attempt at a game-winning field goal, and Joshua Carty, who had just had one blocked, to allow the Eagles to go down the field and score a touchdown to take the lead. Didn't need that extra 2-point conversion to take the lead because they blocked a field goal with 8:46 to go, preventing the Rams from going up by 8. Joshua Carty comes out and gets another one blocked as well. Oh. And Jordan Davis, big man with football, blocks it, picks it up, and runs with it into the end zone.
That was unbelievable.
To make it a 33-26 final score. What more feeling inevitable can you come up with than that? Because it is the Eagles' biggest come-from-behind win 19-point comeback since Bueller. Anybody? Bueller? The Miracle at the Meadowlands.
No way.
2.
Oh.
When Deshaun Jackson did it to the Giants. There it is on the screen,
wow.
people. Coming back from 21 down in Week 15 of 2010 in the old Meadowlands. That's what the Eagles did to the Rams when the Rams feel like, yeah, we could have had you last year, but we didn't get it at the very end. And we got you now until the Eagles come back and the Rams had it until the very end. That's what's feeling inevitable. And that's what causes Jalen Hurts to step to the podium and basically say, we're feeling pretty damn good about everything.
Let me just set the pace here. When you look at a game like that, and you're able to find a way to win, we're gonna, point the fingers and point our attention to what's going on the offensive side of the ball. But we won the game. We were gritty in the game. We stayed together as a team. We did not quit. Nobody gave up. And in competitive sports, that's what it's about.
That's what it is about, and I can confirm that's what it is about. Mm-hmm. And you know what? You want to talk about feeling inevitable, too, because they did the tush-push again to score their first touchdown. And Saquon Barkley's bottled up. Jalen Hurts is winning football games throughout this whole process where, yeah, Saquon's here, and this is amazing, and the tush-push this, the tush-push that everyone's done with it. We're over it, all that business. Put it up on the screen, Mr. Hoskins. In the Super Bowl era, minimum of 30 games in which somebody's attempted 30 or more passes as a quarterback in the NFL, Jalen Hurts now has the 5th best win-loss percentage behind Peyton, Montana, Brady, and Mahomes. That is what we would call darn good company. Or as one particular former person who was popular with the Chicago Police Department, Jack Walsh, would say, the end of Midnight Run, that's a pretty respectable neighborhood. So, all right, stop Saquon. Jalen will throw it. And then when Jalen gets it down to the 1-yard line, he'll just shove it in on you. Mm-hmm. And you're up by 19 and everybody's booing in Philadelphia. We'll just do that. We'll just block 2 field goals at the end of the game.
That's crazy.
And we'll turn Joshua Carty, poor Joshua Carty, into the only kicker to have multiple field goal attempts blocked in the fourth quarter since at least 1991. And when you hear that, it's like, the stat people are like, we've given up. We're not looking further past 1991. Oh, and by the way, the last time the Eagles blocked 2 field goals in a game, did you know Sunday was the, wait for it, 50th anniversary of it, according to Elias. The late Bill Berge blocked 2 field goals and an extra point to boot on poor Giants kicker George Hunt. September 21st, 1975. Talk about feeling inevitable. So, just 3 games in, but the Eagles are just like, okay, you want to beat us by, coming to our house on opening night and putting a division game in the mix? Want to call us a little lucky because CeeDee Lamb dropped passes? Sure. Guess who lucked their way to the Super Bowl last year? Allegedly, the Chiefs, who will beat the next week by taking advantage of their mistakes. And then the next week we'll just come up with our biggest comeback win since the Miracle at Meadowlands, too. That's how we're going to follow up our Super Bowl championship. As for the Rams, listen, settling for those field goals did them in the first half. I mean, it's Joshua Carty. He's the only kicker to have back-to-back field goal attempts blocked in a game at all since 2010. And is he maybe the only kicker ever to make 4 field goals, all of them in the first half, and then get your last 2 blocked in the fourth quarter? I don't know. We'll have to look at that one.
Has to be.
So they got to feel good about themselves. Otherwise, I'm sure it was a long-ass flight home from Philadelphia where they were looking at, hey, we're going to be 3-0, and we're going home, and we're going to start protecting our turf against the red-hot Danny Diamonds, who we'll talk about shortly on this program. But they got to feel good about themselves otherwise. I mean, Devontae Adams scoring touchdowns is, with all due respect, an upgrade on Cooper Kupp. A major upgrade on Cooper Kupp. Just a flat-out monster upgrade from what we've seen out of Kupp. You know, third in Kupp is now third in Adams. And then it's first in Puka and second in Puka and sometimes fourth in Puka. Mm-hmm. All right? And then they're protecting Stafford, and his back is not an issue right now. It's not like, what's going on with his back? Okay? And we're not – and Blake Corum, my guy from Michigan, he is getting some meaningful snaps.
Sure is.
And they are turning into, along with Kyron, a double-headed running back threat. They're protecting. They're blowing open the holes. They've got young guys on defense. It's just one of those things. I guess it's the old adage, don't settle for field goals and then have two of them blocked at the end of it. You know what I mean?
If I say it once, I say it 1,000 times.
How many times can we tell people here? Really, just chalk it up. Chalk it up. Unfortunate. Does that mean they have to go back to Philadelphia again and try it again? Yeah, it does. Has Stafford ever beaten Jalen Hurts? He has not. He's now 0-4 against Hurts. Mm-hmm. So are the Eagles the one team that's standing in the Rams' way in the same way that the Chiefs did for the Bills all these years? I don't know. The only difference is the Bills would beat the Chiefs in the regular season, and the Rams have not done that 2 years in a row now against the Eagles. And next up for the Eagles, though, are the equally 3-0 Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Put that one in your books as a must-see in Week 4. And then they have Denver coming into their house, which means potentially it'll be a tight game, only to have the Broncos have something happen at the end that makes them feel sick to their stomachs. And then 2 of 3 against the Giants with a visit to Minnesota. Maybe it's Carson Wentz throwing it all over the place against them. Wouldn't that be fascinating? Wentz v. Eagles.
Right.
And then a bye week. So an interesting next 5 games in many different ways for the Eagles. And then as for the Rams, their next game, as I mentioned, is against one Daniel Diamonds, coming in at 3-0 into their house. And then talk about a big Week 5 Thursday night kickoff. Purdy might be back, and who knows? Are the Niners going to be 4-0 at that point in time? Because they're 3-0 right now before another trip across the country for the Rams, taking on Baltimore. And I'll be calling that game in Wembley in Week 7 on NFL Network, Rams and Jaguars before a bye. I'm not concerned about the Rams. I'm just not. They are talented top to bottom, left to right, to use the Easy Reader song. I'm dating myself with electric company references here. Bottom line, not concerned about the Rams. Just chalk it up to these things happen, even though we really haven't seen it quite a bit. And as for the Eagles, how are you going to beat them? Can't stop the tush push. You're up by 19 in their house. They're booing like crazy. They'll just block field goals to keep you off the scoreboard. Or, the Chiefs are feeling good about it, and then all of a sudden, one miscue on the goal line. And it flips the script. So things are looking good for the Eagles so far.
And the thing, they did it with the pass. When in the first 2 weeks, it was like, can't throw the ball. What's wrong with A.J. Brown? Jalen Hurts? And then all of a sudden, boom. Breakout game for A.J. Brown. Hurts is doing it, winging it around, and they come back and win.
So you've heard the phrase, necessity is the mother of invention. Sometimes necessity is the mother of, that's A.J. Brown. That's Devontae Smith. Maybe we should start throwing it. Hey, you made it all the way to the end. Thanks for that. Check us out every single day streaming live on Disney Plus and the ESPN app, 12 to 3 Eastern.